It's your under degrees. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping 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 this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, shining bright, set the stage. Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea.
Y'all, I was talking all that time and my mic was muted. Guess what, y'all? We live, we streaming from Rumble right now. This is a test run. What's up, EJ? What's up, Melanated? What's going on, Diamond Gang? What's up? So this is our first time. Oh, sorry. Let me turn this off. So this is our first time streaming from Rumble. So if you new here, please, please, please subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. What's going on? Can y'all hear me nice and clear? This is our test run over here on Rumble. I'm so excited. I'm definitely excited. Let me take a look and see. Oh yeah. So I made a mistake and I scheduled too many live streams. I'll get it together. I'll get it together. All right, well, we're gonna get started. I got like 10 live streams scheduled over there on YouTube. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Yeah. I need to delete these other live streams. Wow. I had to reschedule the lives. I was getting an error message. But without further ado, my name is Yolanda the Great. I come from the Black tea sector. I do celebrity gossip on YouTube as well as war updates. Okay. So if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. I am definitely here to stay over here on Rumble. I like the community. So I'm going to give it a try. Hold on, y'all. All right. So without further ado, let me bring up my screen. Now, for the subscribers that was with me last night on YouTube, we basically went over a lot of this information. There's not a lot going on with the war right now. The only thing that is going on is, once again, Trump is crashing out on True Social. And once again, he has threw out his threats and said that Iran is running out of time. So basically, he's being pushed into a corner to where he's going to have to do something. It can't stay the way that it is over there. Oh, so the audio sound good. Great. So we're going to get into this video. I normally go live for almost 3 hours over there on YouTube. This is going to be a short one, and a lot of this information we already covered. So without further ado, let me bring up my screen. Everything over here is just like StreamYard, guys. It is. So it's pretty easy. Okay. Let me start my video and let's get into it. Let's go.
Take a listen.
We can't continue to allow China to rape our country. China's taking our jobs, our money.
We've had a fantastic relationship.
Diamond Gang. This was years ago. I think the first was 2015, 2022. He has said these things about China multiple times. He changed his tone real quick. Let's go.
Such respect for China.
We don't want you buying our land. We don't want you taking the land and basically taking it off the market.
You want to see farm prices drop? You want to see farmers lose a lot of money? Just take that out of the market.
There are about 30.
This was before Trump's second term. So he had a lot to say about China. A lot.
1%, almost 31% of foreigners coming to Harvard. It's too much because we have Americans that want to go there.
I could tell them, I don't want any students. It's a very insulting thing to say to a country. If you want to see a university system die, take 500,000 people out of it.
This is The Week in Trump, no joke.
Now, Diamond Gang, y'all know I love The Week in Trump. He goes over everything that Trump has said that was ridiculous, dumb, stupid, crazy. Let's get into it.
Or commentary, just a dry, matter-of-fact list of the Trump administration shenanigans this week that we would otherwise forget next week. For the week ending May 16th, 2026. Trump said it's okay for Supreme Court justices to be loyal to the person who appointed them. He said MAGA Republicans hate Fox News. On the hantavirus, RFK.
He definitely fell out.
He said, we have this on.
He definitely fell out with Fox News. Fox News will twist and change the narrative for Trump. They slipped up one time, and now he hates them. Let's go.
Under control, we're not worried about it. The president fell asleep in another cabinet meeting, which the White House then called blinking. He said the ceasefire with Iran is on massive life support. He pushed the Department of Justice.
Sorry,
Justice to subpoena reporters over leaking information about the Iran war. He called himself the father of fertility and that he learned everything about IVF in 3 to 4 minutes. He called the White House a shithouse. The cost of the Iran war increased by at least $4 billion since the last estimate. The Lincoln reflecting pool renovation ballooned from $1.8 million to $13.1 million, and his proposed Golden Dome jumped from $175 billion to $1.2 trillion. He called
Listen, tonight we are going to go over just how much his family is making. They are making money on top of money. Money on top of money.
Called female reporters dumb and stupid. He said when it came to Iran, he didn't think about Americans' financial situation. He called it treason to say Iran is doing well at the same time U.S. intelligence now says Iran retained its missile capabilities. He teased Venezuela as the 51st state. An analysis concluded that judges ruled against the administration's ICE detention practices in 90% of cases. He now says getting Iran's uranium is a PR move, saying I just feel better if I got it. I think it's more for public relations than it is for anything else. He said he threw away the last peace proposal from Iran because he didn't like the first sentence.
Baby, I got something for you guys tonight. I got a clip of Obama, and he is going into detail why and how he made that deal with Iran. So we're going to get into that. I was so happy that I found that piece from Obama because he laid it out. At the end of the day, I keep saying this over and over. Trump tore that deal up for what? If we would have still had that deal in place, we would have oversight of what they were doing. There wouldn't have been no reason for him to have a good feeling that there was they were going to bomb us. None of that. Because he would have known what they were doing at all times had he not tore up Obama's deal. And now, this new deal, again, will mock Obama's deal. I'm going to tell you this. They're going to remove the sanctions off of Russia, and they're going to release more of their money. I guarantee you. Let's go.
Kash Patel snorkeled at the Pearl Harbor Memorial. Trump now says he's satisfied with only a 20-year suspension of Iran's nuclear program. He called arms sales to Taiwan a negotiating chip, and he'll potentially settle his lawsuit with the IRS in exchange for $1.7 billion in taxpayer funds for his allies wronged by the Biden administration and January 6th rioters. Let me know what I missed in the comments, and remember, an archive of previous episodes is available.
Now, Diamond Gang, remember I told you guys that the administration did not want it to get out the damage to the U.S. military assets. They did not want that information to get out at all. Okay? Let's get into it.
Have damaged or destroyed at least 228 structures or pieces of equipment across 15 U.S. military sites in the Gulf. The damage was worse than most people understood. Some of these explosions were fairly massive. You see hangars blown out. You see barracks really destroyed one after another. In one case, there's a huge crater that had an airbase in the UAE. In some of these cases, the strikes are very small, so we think that they were probably from drones. This is the first time that an adversary has been able to put out satellite imagery almost in real time of the damage that they're causing to the United States. We ended up reviewing 128 images, filled in this gap left by U.S. satellite imagery providers. So I think this is significant not only because the Iranians are able to control or influence the information war to a greater degree than ever before by showing the rest of the world how much they are hitting U.S. bases. It's also
And I mean, they got us pretty good. And this was in the beginning. This was early on. Very early on.
significant just because of the damage itself. This war went on perhaps longer than the administration thought it would go on. The Iranians had better targeting, better satellite imagery, and better ability to strike U.S. bases than people had understood.
No president in history has ever claimed.
And Diamond Gang right now, he is literally threatening to wipe them out again. Again.
Drop bombs just for fun. That would, of course, brand that president as a sociopath. And so, of course, Donald Trump said exactly that. On Saturday, in a telephone interview with NBC News, Donald Trump said that he might continue to bomb an oil facility on Karg Island in Iran, quote, just for fun.
Now, Diamond Gang, this piece right here, this clip is old, but I brought this clip specifically because he is back to this again. He's back to this again.
That phrase will live in infamy with Donald Trump's name for hundreds of years, as historians are able to isolate those words just for fun as the conclusive proof they will need to make the case that Donald Trump is a sociopath, that Donald Trump was a mad bomber in every sense. Every historian will be able to see that he was a madman who thought bombing was fun.
My basic theory was that...
All right, y'all ready? I want y'all to listen to this because it makes a lot of sense. The way he strategized and put this deal, this plan together. Okay? I want y'all to listen to my boy.
Iran couldn't become a nuclear state, that the regime itself was murderous, oftentimes towards its own people, engaged in state-sponsored terrorism, was a threat to the United States. And
I want you guys to hear how he literally thought not just about one piece of this, but everything as a whole, and made the choice and made the decisions based off of that. All right, let's go.
Allies of ours. So the idea that they would have nuclear weapons would be extraordinarily dangerous. It would also trigger a nuclear arms race in what is a powder keg. What I also believed was that the regime was not entirely irrational. That
Bingo. So he said they were not entirely irrational, meaning, yeah, we can have some talks, we can have, conversations. All right, let's go. And he basically said they've been living like this for over 40-something years. At this point, it becomes survival instincts. Let's go.
They had a survival instinct. And that when you carry out military force, innocent people die, so we should try to use that as a last resort instead of...
Bingo. Use that as a last resort instead of the first thing you go to. What did they do? Again, they were in the 6 rounds of negotiation. They were going to give up the uranium or dilute it. And what did we do? The same thing that we did last year when Trump claimed we obliterated everything. And look where we at today. Let's go.
The first. And we went about trying to negotiate a diplomatic agreement that would get the enriched uranium out of Iran, that would assure that they could not get to a nuclear weapon without us knowing about it, that it was internationally agreed upon, and that there were mechanisms in place to enforce it and verify it.
Bingo. Mechanisms to enforce it and verify it. I don't know what Trump was thinking when he tore that deal up. But look where it got us. Look where it got him. Not only that, he's going to have to repeat and basically bring the same deal to them, but give them more. Okay? And here's the thing, because we bombed them twice. Once in 2025 in this current time. They have no trust. So now they're saying, we're not giving you nothing. Nothing. All right, let's go.
And we pulled it off without firing a missile. We got 97% of their enriched uranium out. They were
97%. 97. Let's go.
able to maintain a modest civilian nuclear program for energy. And
so you think it was working?
Well, it's not only did I think it was working, even Israeli intelligence thought it was working.
Bingo. Israeli intelligence. And guess what? The U.S. intelligence told us there was no proof of no type of threats. Let's go.
Even our intelligence services thought it was working. So there's no dispute that it worked. And we didn't have to kill a whole bunch of people or shut down the Strait of Hormuz.
Bingo. Something that they didn't think about. They didn't think of a plan B. They didn't say, what if?
Now,
well, there was some dispute that it didn't work.
Well,
our present president believed that it didn't work, which is why he pulled out of it.
It's not clear that he didn't believe that it didn't work. He just said it didn't work.
Worst deal of all time.
Yeah, because I did it, which is fine. That seems to be a pattern. But there was no serious...
That part, he was being a hater. And look where it got him. Because he's going to have to mock up that same deal and present that same deal. But this time, giving a little more. A little more.
Independent folks who would say that it didn't work with respect to the nuclear program. Now, if your agenda was to bring about regime change in Iran, well, that wasn't the goal of the agreement.
Regime change. Once again, we have not accomplished none of the goals that we supposedly set off to do. But okay, let's go.
Guys, good morning. Regional intelligence sources tell Fox News they assess the Iranians believe they can drag out the current stalemate for at least 2 weeks. But the prevailing assessment inside Iran is that President Trump may resort to restarting military action, and Tehran is now deliberately pursuing a strategy of deception and delay with the hopes that buying time will complicate any potential return to war. These sources say Iranian officials are looking at the World Cup and America's 250th anniversary as a...
So, again, it may resume as early as within the next few days.
Backstop that could work in their favor. Tension remains high across the Middle East as the region waits to see if the war will resume in the days ahead. So far, efforts toward a diplomatic solution have failed, with Iran unwilling to make the necessary concessions to reach a deal. President Trump...
That's all they have is the straits. That's it. And until we... move the U.S. blockade, it's going to be what it's going to be. And President Trump will be faced to make a move. He's going to have to make a move.
Trump spoke on his return flight from China, indicating he didn't like the first sentence of the Iranian response to the U.S. peace proposal.
I looked at it, and I don't like...
And he's treating this like this is one of his little deals, one of his little business deals. So he read the first sentence and said he didn't like it. So neither side is truly willing to budge.
The first sentence, I just throw it away.
What was the first sentence?
An unacceptable sentence. Because they fully agree no nuclear, and if they have any nuclear of any form, I don't read the rest of it.
So 20 years is not enough for you. It's got to be a...
No, 20 years is enough, but the level of guarantee from them is not enough. In other words, it's got to be a real 20 years.
And here's the thing. Because they have no trust, they won't stand 10 toes down on that.
Overnight, President Trump shared a series of AI images on Truth Social. One shows the president standing at a control center that says Space Force with outgoing missiles on the screen behind him. The other shows him commanding the Navy with the caption, "It was the calm before the storm." This comes as the Iranians have accused the United States of changing their negotiating position.
An attack on
And that's true. Because remember, okay? Remember when they first started, Trump was talking about maybe we could co-own it and charge tolls. He said a bunch of things, a bunch of different things. At one point, he was saying that the ceasefire was just between Israel, Iran, and the US. He was saying a lot of different things.
our nuclear facilities has already taken place once, and they claim they completely destroyed them. Yet now they are once again talking about attacking the facilities. These contradictory statements truly indicate the depth of America's confusion regarding their objectives in this war.
And this is part of the reason why they don't take us serious. This is the reason why.
On Saturday, the USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group returned to the United States after a carrier deployment that was the longest since the Vietnam War. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth called the work of these sailors phenomenal.
Absolute resolve, epic fury. It's an incredible story, and the only story that should be told today is of the heroism and the skill and the professional.
I told y'all last night, I guarantee you, he's going to be the fall guy for a lot of what's going on. And so is Rubio. I guarantee you.
Some of these sailors who went 3 times around the globe to defend that flag right there, which can only do what this strike group does.
A drone strike targeted a nuclear power plant in the UAE this morning, and as of right now, it's unknown what country is responsible. Authorities responded to a fire that broke out as a result of this drone strike.
They're putting it on Iran. Iran is not fessing up to it. But I told you guys last night, they have been secretly striking Iran since the start of this war. Since the start.
In an electrical generator outside the inner perimeter of the power plant. Thankfully, no injuries were reported and there was no impact on radiological safety levels. At the same time, it seems like the U.S. is giving Iran one last chance to negotiate a ceasefire. They sent a list of conditions. The terms include Iran will not be compensated for damages in the war. Iran transfers 400 kilograms of uranium to the United States. Only one nuclear facility is allowed to remain active. No release of Iran's frozen assets.
I guarantee you they're going to release more than what Obama did.
Ceasefire on all fronts is conditional on holding negotiations. In response, Iran put forward its own 5 terms: end the war on every front, full lifting of sanctions, release all frozen Iranian funds, compensation for war damages, recognition of Iran's sovereignty over Hormuz. Neither side is willing to budge.
So let's go back. Let's take a look at that list. I got to go back. I got to. I'm sorry, y'all, but I got to. Okay, let's go.
That broke out as a result of this drone strike in an electric generator outside the inner perimeter of the power plant. Thankfully, no injuries were reported and there was no impact on radiological safety levels. At the same time, it seems like the U.S. is giving Iran one last chance to negotiate a ceasefire. They sent a list of conditions. The terms include Iran will not be compensated for damages in the war.
Okay, so no compensation for damages. They have to transfer 400 kilograms of the uranium to the U.S., which like I said, I showed you guys the video on how they would have to go about extracting the uranium. That could take months. What else? Only one nuclear facility is permitted. They're saying now that they will not release any of Iran's frozen assets. Okay. The ceasefire, all fronts, is conditional. So I guess based off of whether, they believe that Iran is acting right.
Transfers 400 kilograms of uranium to the United States. Only one nuclear facility is allowed to remain active. No release of Iran's frozen assets. The ceasefire on all fronts is conditional on holding negotiations. In response, Iran put forward its own 5 terms: end the war on every front, full lifting of sanctions, release all frozen Iranian funds, compensation for war damages.
I'm going to guarantee you they're not going to get the compensation They will get sanctions lifted. If we could do it for Russia, why not? They will get some of their frozen assets. I guarantee you.
Recognition of Iran's sovereignty over Hormuz. Neither side is willing to budge. There are also reports that indicate 11 U.S. Air Force C-17A aircraft have departed the Middle East and are heading toward Europe. A similar movement pattern was seen shortly before this war began.
President Trump just posted on Truth Social saying for Iran, the clock is ticking.
Here we go. The threats again.
And they better get moving fast or there won't be anything left of them. Time is of the essence. The president's post on Truth Social comes as the region waits to see if the war will resume in the days ahead.
And there it is right there. This is how he negotiates over Truth Social, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the threats, they're over it. Everybody's over it.
Donald Trump got a very serious warning from.
Now, really quick, we're going to get into China. I know we went over this last night. This is a test run for my Rumble account. So we're just going to get into it a little bit. This is going to be a quick live because this was just a test run. Let's go.
President Xi in China, and it has to do with Taiwan. If you know how to listen to diplomatic speech, you realize Xi is warning Trump and is saying to Trump, we would go to war if.
And I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is far from over. This is far from over. Like I told you guys last night, before Trump went over there to China, 6 ships from China was able to get through the straits with no problem. Prior to, I told you guys they were getting through. China called Trump, said we've been doing business with them. We will continue to do business with them. He went over there and he got nothing in return. That's all I'm going to say.
If you try any hijinks with Taiwan, I don't think people realize how dangerous this is because Trump doesn't understand the implications. You know, Trump was there smiling. He was complimenting Xi Jinping. We're good friends. And Xi was warning that Taiwan could trigger a direct conflict between China and the United States. In the United States,
he folded. He definitely folded.
It might seem like an ordinary foreign policy disagreement. Well, we have different perspectives and it's going to be sorted out. The Taiwan issue for China is existential. They see it as unfinished business from the Chinese Civil War. They view reunification with Taiwan as inevitable. It's necessary. They believe their national security depends on.
Now, I do have a clip where it is said to be that China want Taiwan to actually come willingly. I don't think that they will. I don't.
Absorbing Taiwan into China. And they view outsiders interfering as humiliation. China has spent years preparing militarily in case the Taiwan issue turns into a confrontation with the United States. They've expanded their Navy. They've expanded their missile systems. We're
running neck and neck with them right now.
Bolstered their cyber warfare and air power. And a lot of it is directed exactly at the Taiwan situation. Now, the United States has been deliberately vague. Trump's just clueless on the issue. But for decades, there has been this vague.
And I showed you guys that yesterday. He basically said that he will not say. So whatever choice is made, we won't know until it's made.
Relationship where we've helped to arm Taiwan, but we don't make explicit guarantees about military intervention. And that ambiguity has kept the balance. Trump looks at foreign.
And actually, there may be conversations with Taiwan in the very soon future, real soon.
Policy like personal branding. And so then that changes how we should interpret this personal chemistry that Donald Trump has with the authoritarian leaders. He is genuinely impressed by these leaders who rule without opposition and without constraints and with no accountability to democracy. And for years, people kind of defended this approach, saying Trump is really clever to be friendly.
You know what, Diamond Gang? Remember, I told you guys that we lifted sanctions from Russia for the second time, and that May 16th, it was due to expire. I'm going to make it my business to check in on that, because I can guarantee you we probably did it a third time. I can guarantee it.
With these dictators because it brings down the chance of a war. That analysis only works if you believe that Trump is genuinely developing friendships with them, but he's not. Trump thinks that they are friendships, but the authoritarian leaders see these as manipulations of Donald Trump. And she, during this trip, has laid out
manipulation tactics. Putin, manipulation tactics. Netanyahu, manipulation tactics.
out a red line. If Taiwan isn't handled correctly, we could see relations between the U.S. and China deteriorate up to and including military armed conflict.
We don't need it at all.
We don't need
And once again, he's being pushed into a corner again and forced to make choices that he's not ready to make.
it at all.
We don't need it at all.
Fair enough. So,
I mean, you could make the case, like, why are we even, we're doing it to help Israel and to help Saudi Arabia and to help Qatar and UAE and, Kuwait and other countries, Bahrain.
it also helps China.
We're actually, I told them today, I said,
Y'all hear that?
we're helping you.
President Xi said there was a risk of conflict with the U.S. over Taiwan. So
He's going to say how he feels right here.
No, I don't think so. I think I think we'll be fine. He doesn't want to see a war. And you have two things. You have the Iranian situation, and that I think we agree.
Again, can you imagine? And we're still tied up with Iran, and our stockpile is limited.
Almost entirely, other than he's a buyer, and we're not. We don't need it. And on Taiwan, he doesn't want to see a movement for...
He keeps saying we don't need it. But prior to all of this, the Straits was open. The Straits was open. We made this problem for the other countries. I don't know why he keeps trying to sell it as if we did everyone a favor when there was, again, no proof to this day.
Independence, he says, look, we've had it for thousands of years, and then at a certain period of time it left, and we were going to get it back. They had the Korean War, a lot of things happened, and all this. But on Taiwan, he feels very strongly. I made no commitment either way. We'll see what happens.
what about the arms sales to Taiwan?
I'll make.
And again, he held it off. There was a package for them, a big deal for Taiwan, and he pushed it back. He has not made the decision. I'm hoping he chooses wisely.
Determination over the next fairly short period.
Welcome back to Beijing. Mr. President, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
You said that this summit is a success. As you get ready to head back to Washington, what's the most significant, specific thing you walk away from here for the U.S.?
I think the most important thing is relationship. It's all about relationship. I have a very good relationship with President Xi and with China. And it sounds like something that doesn't mean anything, but it's everything. And deal making and problems we've solved.
You guys, last night I showed you, he brought his entire family, who is making so much money, his sons, off of that drone company. And we're going to get into some of the things that they're into. Those Trump phones that nobody ever received. Like, this is insane.
The two of us have solved a lot of problems that somebody else would have maybe done very badly with. We've solved a lot of problems over the years. We have a very good relationship. Trade has been very strong. We're getting a lot of soybeans for our farmers. We're doing a lot of, there's a lot of things happening with.
And guess what? I found out today. All they are doing is pushing and basically telling us these deals that have been deals and that have been going on. They're recycled, y'all. Recycled. Let's go.
For the farmers, he committed to 200 Boeings, big ones, 777s and 737s, and a lot of big ones, big, beautiful Boeing planes, 200, that's a lot, with a commitment that if they do a good job, and I told this to Boeing and General Electric, we're going to go to the General Electric engines, which are great. If they do a good job, we could go up to 750.
And that's obviously a lot of investment going back and forth. You know, some Democrats, even some Republicans, had some concerns about Chinese manufacturing on U.S. soil. Is that happening?
Well, if they don't want to pay tariffs, it could happen, just like it's happening with other countries and companies. We have now more money being invested in the United States than any country at any time in the history of the world, including China, which probably is second from about 10 years ago. We have $18 trillion in 11 months, not the 12th month hasn't come in yet, the numbers. We have $18 trillion. If China wants to come in and wants to avoid tariffs, if they build here, for the most part, they're going to be hiring American people. If they want to avoid.
We just talked about that last week. They put a stop to that. They put a stop to that. But okay.
Tariffs they're going to build in the United States.
Despite concerns about China operating inside the U.S.
Look, we have Japan is building massive Toyota, Honda, all of them. I mean, they're building massive plants all over the country. So if China wants to build for their cars, now, I will tell you, I put 100% tariff on Chinese cars because I didn't want them coming into the country. If you take a look, only because they swamp you. They'll destroy your auto industry, and that's what's happening in Europe. And now,
do y'all recall or remember he was having a fit because they put a stop to that? Those tariffs? Oh my goodness, okay.
They're saying we have to do a little bit like Donald Trump. Europe is being killed. They're being absolutely swamped by hundreds of thousands, millions of Chinese cars, and Mercedes and BMW and Volkswagen. They're getting
products. The conservative Wall Street Journal editorial board questioned whether the summit achieved any of the stated wins.
And at the end of the day, it did not. He did not achieve anything. He came back and basically sold us recycled deals that's been going on for years. It's the same old, same old.
Because of how vague these things have been, they said Mr. Trump boasted about fantastic Chinese purchases of U.S. soybeans and aircraft, but China didn't confirm the sales. And by our count, this is the second time China has bought the same American soybeans, or is it the third?
Y'all hear that? Is it the second or the third time? Again, recycled deals. The same stuff that's China been purchasing. But okay.
They're kind of arguing you're playing a shell game here with like re-announcing past deals on past agreements to purchase over a period of time. Can you answer these conservative skeptics with any specifics?
So first of all, we've had a deal in place with the Chinese since October that they would buy 25 million metric tons of soybeans each year for the rest of the president's administration. So that deal is still in force. What we expect with the new purchase agreements, where the specific number will be announced very soon, double-digit purchases of aggregate agricultural products. When I say aggregate, I mean everything else. That could be soybeans, that could be beef.
So what I'll do is I'll keep a close eye out and see what other type of deals besides the ones that we were already in. We were already in this soybean deal.
That could be grains, that could be dairy products, all kinds of things. So we have the existing soybean deal that they may be referring to. And then over on top of that, we have these agricultural products as well. And all of that will be facilitated by Board of Trade discussions with the Chinese.
So still not nailed down, just an aggregate.
Bingo. Still not nailed down. He couldn't say.
Agreement. So
the U.S. still officially has this
stance of strategic ambiguity. But do you think the tone needs to shift a little bit from the United States, given how strong the Chinese rhetoric is now?
I think. Now, here's the deal. He's going to go into this. They've always been this way. I believe this is a lot different this time around.
The Chinese rhetoric has often been strong in the past when it comes to Taiwan. Whenever we've made an arms sales to Taiwan in the past, the Bush administration, the Obama administration.
Listen, I've never heard them outright basically threatening us. I've never heard it.
So the Chinese rhetoric gets very, very strong. So I think she was reiterating the Chinese position on that. I think it would be a mistake to change the carefully worded position of the United States with respect to Taiwan. Any change at all. The nuances, this is one of those things where the experts parse these things down to the tense of the verbs and so on. So I think keeping things, the U.S. position as it has been, was important. And I think everything I've read so far indicates that the president did that.
There hasn't been a call between.
Now, check this out. I told you guys, Trump was very vague. He didn't want to answer the question. And to be quite honest, again, I think that he's backed into a corner when it comes to Taiwan. Now, last night I showed you guys a video where they basically said, Taiwan basically said, oh, we'll have full support militarily wise with the U.S. if it comes down to that. But then I showed you what Trump said when he said, I don't want to say. And this is what I mean. He got to be careful. Let's go. That's why he pushed, the weapons. He pushed that deal back. He was supposed to make a decision. He pushed it back.
American president and a leader of Taiwan since 1979. But President Trump indicated to reporters there might be one coming. Is there a call planned with President Lai?
Well,
and he basically said, listen, you guys, Trump basically heard China's side of the story. We need him to hear our side of the story and where we stand. So eventually Trump will have to talk to them. He needs to. But let's go.
We'll see. But President Trump, when he was in Beijing for the last 2 days, he mentioned that he heard a lot about Taiwan. He heard a lot about Taiwan these 2 days in Beijing. But the problem is he heard only their side of the story. He heard the Chinese story, or as we say in Spanish, el cuento chino.
And where Taiwan stands, they want to continue to be a democracy. They don't want to, you know what I mean? They're going to push back.
I think if he has time, would love to tell him our side of the story, the Taiwan story, which is one that of resiliency, of staying up against the Chinese aggression. This has been going on for 77 years. This is not something that just happened when the DPP, the current ruling party in Taiwan, came to power. This has been going on for 77 years, since the inception of 1949 when they became a people's republic. So this is not a recent thing, as if we are the ones creating problems. It's China, People's Republic of China, creating all this problem.
So no call scheduled yet.
Well, the communication between Taiwan and U.S. is.
Shouts out to Sassy, EJ, Melanated. Thank you guys. The next time I go live, now I know where the kinks is and where I kind of slipped up. I'm going to see if I'm able to go vertical too at the same time, but we'll see.
It's constant, it's current, but I'll leave it to the U.S. to announce anything if it happens.
It would be a big deal. He did speak to a past president as president-elect.
Yes, with President Tsai, in 2015, 16. Yes.
That's right.
Right before he left for China, President Trump was asked if he was motivated to make a deal with Iran by Americans' financial situations. Not even a little bit, he shot back.
Bingo. And when he got off the plane, he stood 10 toes down. He don't care. He don't care. about our financial situations or that we can't purchase gas or we don't have a job. He don't give a good goddamn. He don't care.
Back, adding this.
The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing.
Tonight, I'm going to show y'all what his approval rating is standing at today. It's even lower.
We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
Never mind the president's repeated claims that Iran's nuclear program was totally obliterated by U.S. military strikes last June. This statement, packed with conviction, had Democrats cutting campaign ads, Republicans scrambling for cover. It also put into stark relief.
And again, last night, the war power resolution, 3 Republicans ended up voting and basically flipping sides. They just need one more.
How much of Trump's second term has been devoted to improving the financial situation of his family? Since returning to office, the president and his family have earned well over $1 billion from overseas real estate projects, branded merchandise, cryptocurrency, and more.
You guys hear that? So we're about to get into the money that the Trumps are making. I showed you guys a clip last night where they said they wanted to be the wealthiest family, the wealthiest in the world.
Companies connected to his sons, Don Jr. and Eric, have been granted tens of millions in government contracts. And political allies like Michael Flynn and Carter Page have secured lucrative settlements from the Trump administration. But this week could bring what critics call the most brazen move yet. My colleagues here at ABC News broke the story. The Department of Justice is finalizing a deal to establish a nearly $2 billion fund to finance payouts to Trump political allies who claim they were wronged by the government.
Right. So whoever they went after during the Biden administration, they're setting up a fund to compensate these people.
It's how they propose to settle the president's $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. It could be announced as...
He said that he would drop the lawsuit based off of those conditions. This is insane, but let's go.
As early as tomorrow, critics are already questioning its legality, and it comes as so many American families are struggling with their own financial situations.
We have major news right now. Donald Trump is actively manipulating the market, and he's no longer hiding it. We now know, according to his financial disclosures, in the first quarter of 2026.
Listen to how much he made. Listen to how much he made.
Guess how many stock trades he completed? Over 30.
Remember, he kept making them goddamn announcements. The Straits is open. Oh, the war is over. Come on.
700. Some stock traders, career stock traders, don't complete that many trades in their entire career. But that's not all. In February and March alone, he completed millions of dollars in trades on companies like Nvidia and Palantir. Ask yourselves why this is a big deal. Well, it's a big deal because at the same time, while he is completing these stock trades, or an advisor of his is completing these stock trades, Donald Trump is executing deals with Nvidia, with Palantir, government contracts, and actively making money while doing so. Many are calling this the most corrupt part of his administration thus far because it's being done in broad daylight without any fear of accountability or retribution. Let me know what you think. As always,
this administration, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. Do they all lie, cheat, and steal? I believe so, in my opinion. But this right here, they act as if they are above the law.
Spread the word and follow along to stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
Breaking news as President Trump is on another Truth Social tirade, claiming that he is aging in reverse. This guy...
He was crashing out again, no sleep at all, up on Truth Social.
Can't even stay awake during a press event in the Oval Office. And the bruising on his hand, the makeup covering it up is just so apparent and gross. It's not even working anymore. We cannot be distracted by all that because that's all just nonsense. He wants us talking about that and distracted with that instead of what's really going on. And that's that his corruption is through the roof. His recent filing showed that he had over 3,700 trades from January through March.
Y'all hear that?
I mean, he just took all the emoluments clauses, tore them up, shredded them, and then just threw them in the trash. And he does not want us talking about it. We're talking upwards of $750 million in transactions. Look at how those suckers spike up right before the war in Iran and
750 million.
right after. Full breakdown of all this on my YouTube and Substack. Go check it out there. You're going to want to learn about all of this. I'll see you back here for the 411.
We have some news right now. Trump Mobile no longer plans to manufacture its phone.
Now we're going to get into these phones. Nobody received them. Nobody got their phones. They ordered these phones, paid for these phones, and didn't get them.
In the United States of America. Now it says it'll manufacture its phones with the United States of America, quote, in mind, quietly changing its terms of service. See, this company was started by the Trump family as an alternative to Apple, essentially. And while to this day, supporters of the president spent millions of dollars on these phones, which allegedly are supposed to be shipped out this coming week, haven't been shipped out at all yet. But we're now learning that the company...
So where's everybody's money to pay for these phones? This is crazy.
The company actually dropped its intention to manufacture the phone in the United States. And now the website only says, quote, it was designed with American values in mind. I'm not really sure what that means. And if you're now producing it overseas, which Donald Trump has repeatedly said he doesn't want to do, what does designed with American values in mind mean? And will those who purchased it, even though it was once supposed to be made in the United States, will they be upset? Spread the word, follow for more.
The Trump mobile phone fraud scheme just took another turn to break more laws. After we put pressure on them last week for...
That part, this was everywhere. I brought this to you guys last week. It was everywhere. So it was just a matter of time.
Not delivering any phones yet, way past their deadline, and saying they were not going to even possibly deliver a phone in their contract and not refund customers. They have now said that the golden Trump phone will begin shipping this week. However, other changes in their agreement say that it will no longer be made in America as advertised, but it will be designed with American values in mind, an American proud design.
I'm going to keep up with this story as well.
And shaped by American innovation. But the made in America as advertised that got so many people to go buy it is false. So if you're one of those people that put in an early deposit when they said it was made in America and now it's not being made in America, that was false advertising. That is illegal and that is a form of fraud. This whole Trump phone, Trump mobile scheme was a giant fraud scheme. If people start receiving these phones and
Who would think though, as petty as this crime is, like literally,
it is not stamped with made in America as advertised, that will open up Trump Mobile to massive lawsuits, and everyone that gets one of these phones should sue them. Let me know what you guys think about this. Follow along for more, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
I'm going to show you what a real apology looks like. I'm going to
all right, we're going to get into a mega supporter, and then after that, we'll get into the ratings. Again, this was just a test run. And everything is moving smoothly. This is basically just like StreamYard. So, but this is where I'll be for a lot of my time.
Show you what it looks like to realize that you screwed up big and you screwed other people because of how you voted. A 3-time Trump voter called into C-SPAN and said, I was really wrong, and people are suffering. And this through,
in my opinion, for now, a lot of them have buyer remorse. It's going to be quite interesting the next election. It's going to be real interesting. That's all I got to say about that. The MAGA base is gone. It's over.
3-time Trump voter breaks down. It's really a MAGA cultist leaving the cult. He goes, I apologize to all of America. There is a lot to learn from this.
I'm going to tell you this, though. If by choice, if by luck, if J.D. Vance get in, he has a big mess to clean up. That's all I'm going to say. He has a lot to clean up. They're going to call him out on a lot of things that he has said, things that has been done in this administration. Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Cleveland, Ohio, Republican. You're on Open Forum.
Well, I'd like to first say I apologize to all of America and all of Americans. I was a diehard Republican. I cannot believe I drank the Kool-Aid, okay? I am guilty. I drank the Kool-Aid of Donald J. Trump. In fact,
I'm going to be honest. I would be surprised. I truly do believe that this next election is going to go to the Dems.
I don't even know why we keep saying Donald J. Trump. This man is ruining the Constitution of the United States. What's going on in these southern states, Louisiana and Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, they're taking away the vote from the black man, the fight from the black people that are part of our country. They're stealing their vote. They're making it null and mean nothing. And we need to, I don't know what we need to do, but I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump. I know that this country,
For some reason, too, I truly believe that if there was a way that he could possibly run again, he would. I think it's going to be hell getting him up out of that office. I do.
if you see all the corruption, the billions of dollars that the Trump family is grabbing, and he says it's never about the money. It's all about the money, the lies that come out of this man's mouth. Everything he says is not true is exactly what is true. And I don't know what needs to be done, but the Democrats need to grab the helm and lead the people what we need to do. They are overwhelming the system of democracy. He wants the Strait of Hormuz open. Guess what? Before he went there, it was open.
Bingo. We keep saying that. So why he feels like it's everybody's responsibility to get it back open is ridiculous. You did not consult with your allies. You didn't consult with anybody when you were in that room. And Kushner and Witkoff and Netanyahu told you, and Hegseth said, yep, it's a great idea. And you said you just had that feeling in your bones. You just felt it. Like you felt it. You didn't have any proof from the Pentagon. No, you just did it. But okay.
And the gas prices were beautiful. I mean, everything.
All right, listen, I think you get it. I think this is a lot more than just one guy apologizing. It, of course, matters that this guy regrets voting for Trump. Cool. Step one. Step two, he's publicly admitting it. That's good. Number three, he's actually apologizing and not one of these, I apologize if anyone was offended. I apologize. That alone is a level of self-awareness and humility that is pretty rare in American politics, and especially when things are as polarized as they are today. For every Republican voter willing to say
and I'm going to say this, even if the Dems do get in, it's going to be hard. We have torn up our relationships with our allies. This administration put a stain on us, an ugly stain on us.
Stuff like this publicly. There are hundreds or thousands quietly thinking the exact same thing privately.
Donald Trump, political animal, and the game is survival. He needed Miriam Adelson to get elected, so he took her $200 million bribe, and he
Pay attention, gang.
He staffed his team with all the people that Miriam Adelson liked, especially.
A lot of them that's in the positions that they are in shouldn't be there. Should not be there.
Marco Rubio and Secretary of State. She wanted him to be vice president. And this team, this golden team of Zionists, have humiliated Donald Trump, humiliated him. And this is a man who is vindictive as the day is long. If his political legacy is...
They don't have the knowledge, the credentials, the experience.
...is on the line, and the threat that exists that can, destroy this legacy comes from very Zionistic enterprise that he is empowered with Miriam Adelson's money. He'll drop that in a heartbeat. There is no loyalty in Donald Trump.
That part, no loyalty amongst thieves. None. But let's go.
None whatsoever. He has no obligations. It's all about power. And I think you'll see that he's going to divorce himself from the Zionists as quick as possible. And anybody who peeps gets fired. Heads will roll because of this war.
I told you, somebody got to be the fall guy. And I believe, in my opinion, it will be Rubio and it will be Hegseth. I called it out for Pam Bondi. I called it out for Gabby. I called it out for, I can't even think of her name. I called it out for Patel, Christy Nome, before it even happened.
Other than trying to stay out of prison.
This is Trump's niece. This is Donald Trump's niece. Let's go.
And the only other reason Donald wanted to get back into the Oval Office was so that he could rob us blind. Everything for him is transactional. The only value is in the being president is the value it affords him. And it turns out that thanks to 78 million deeply misguided Americans, the presidency is truly the only lucrative job Donald has ever had. Well, let me put it another way. It's the only job in which he has made enough money that even he can't squander all of it. Merchandise royalties alone exceeded $10 million in 2024. Forbes estimated Donald's net worth at $6.5 billion as of February 2026, which is significantly more than he was worth before getting back in.
That part. Their family said that they wanted to be the wealthiest. Since this war has been going on, they have made millions. And on top of that, he said he don't care that we cannot buy gas, that we don't have jobs, if we're hungry, if we can't afford things. He don't care.
Into the White House. This is all illegal. It is all unconstitutional. So can we blame Donald for taking advantage of the fact that his party won't hold him accountable? Absolutely. But
listen, some of them are starting to change their minds. Some of them are changing their minds, as we seen that last night, as far as the war power resolution.
Most of the blame should be put at the doorstep of the elected Republicans in Congress who have absolutely no problem with the fact that the President of the United States is a thief.
I didn't say it. His niece did. Let's go.
President Trump's approval rating has now dropped to the lowest level of his second term at
37%. If y'all think they getting back in, that'll be a miracle.
37%. And views of the economy have dropped to their lowest level in several years. Only 29% now say the economy is good. Joining us now with more is our Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto. Anthony, good to have you here. Gas is $4.51 and change per gallon. Is this pressure all due to gas prices?
Gas prices aren't helping. It's not the only thing.
That part, it's not just the gas prices. A lot of people are against this war and has been.
Start with feelings because they're so closely connected to people's finances. They tell us they feel stressed, they feel concerned about their personal finances, and feelings of economic security are down from a year ago. Now, gas prices are increasingly, they tell us, being a financial hardship on them. Overall, though, they continue to tell us they don't think their income is keeping pace with inflation. And that's something we've been seeing now for years coming out of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So contextually, yes, it's part of something larger. The other part of this, though, is uncertainty, which is a top way that people describe
that part. I think the uncertainty for me beats everything else on this list.
the overall economy. And the way that relates to gas prices is, take, for example, just the situation in Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. People tell us day to day, they don't feel like they have a clear understanding. They're getting a clear understanding of what's going on there. And of course, that is impacting gas prices. That's part of what I mean by uncertainty. But the other part of the big picture here, you pull back, you look at the job market. People aren't confident that if they had to find another job, they could. They even think you hear so much about AI in the news.
Structural changes.
Big structural changes. They think AI is going to start taking jobs. And
Absolutely. AI is on the rise.
what it leads to when you look at opportunity, even generational opportunity, there's a lower number who think that their opportunities are going to be better than their parents were.
Donald Trump has been posting on social media.
All right, this is the last clip of the night. This is about Donald Trump, once again, crashing out on True Social. He uses True Social to negotiate. He uses True Social to threaten people. This is insane. When he was in China, on the way there, he was on True Social.
Media all day about his health, specifically him looking younger. I'm not joking. At 5:54 p.m., he said, same guy, even more energy now. And it's an AI image of himself when he was young and the older Trump looking at him. Very weird. At 5:50 p.m., he posted this image of him and Xi Jinping, the president of China, and he said, Trump gets younger, which is absolutely not the case. I don't know what world he's living in, but he's posting it. Here's another one. The third post like this saying Trump ages in reverse. He posted this one at 5:26. And I guess he's completely ignoring the fact that he looks like crap in this photo. He looks old. This is part of a posting spree that Trump has been going on all day. And it also comes as questions surrounding his health continue to swirl. I mean, he has the bruising on his hands, the swollen ankles, the cognitive decline. All of it is taking place.
Listen, he's up there in age. He is.
At once, and there have been no explanations from the White House about what's going on. All I'm going to say is that if somebody is actually mentally sound and physically healthy, they don't have to keep talking about how they're mentally sound and physically healthy. And I think everybody can see that is not the case with Donald Trump.
All right, y'all. I had to do this test run. It went pretty smooth. Except for I had a bunch of live streams scheduled. I got to figure that part out. So when I scheduled the live stream, I went back and I added YouTube, and it was showing that I had a vertical scheduled, a horizontal scheduled, and then the one in Rumble. When I went in to hit the live button, for some reason, it didn't go. So I had to schedule it again, and I guess that knocked off my vertical. So it'll get better in time. Like I said, if I'm able to go vertical, I will. While I'm streaming on Rumble, if it will permit me to go vertical and horizontal, I will. I will continue to stay in the vertical world, but I won't be over there as much as I used to. I got to start tapering off. I'm trying to build my Rumble account. It's a whole different world over here. Like I told you guys last night, you don't need 500 subs. You don't need 2,000 watch hours. You're monetized as soon as you get over. They're playing ads on your stuff. Am I making a lot? No. But as soon as I hit the live button, I'm able to get super chat, super stickers. I'm able to get all of that over here. So I'm going to try to build my Rumble account while maintaining my YouTube channel. So we're going to see how this play out and see how it works. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be different. It's going to be something that I have to get used to. I kind of got used to the vertical world. It gets wild. It's action. It's a lot of people in there. But that's not consistent support. That's the part. It's not consistent support. You know what I'm saying? So I got to start building consistent support. Not fly by night people. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say thank you, EJ, Sassy, Melanated. Hey, Sharon. What's up? So I'm happy you guys came through. But yeah, I'm over here on Rumble. I like it. I'm going to try to start being over here a lot so I could get to know the community, get to see how things is done over here. You know, I know YouTube like the back of my hand. So that's nothing. So, but I will not neglect my audience. Just know that. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to try to cater to both, you know, and still be there for my YouTube community while building on Rumble. But I had to come up with something. I had to. July did come and they may say, go ahead and reapply. And I still might not be, accepted into the partnership program. So, because I refuse, I'm not deleting none of my work. I work too hard. So they tell you, oh, re-edit, delete this and do, but they don't tell you what it is. So until I figure out what it was that I did, was it a thumbnail? Was it the titles? Was it the hashtags? Until I found out truly why, I'm not deleting nothing. I'm not. And I will rock out on YouTube without being monetized as long as I'm monetized over here on Rumble and other platforms. I'm also on X too now. I also got a Twitter account too. I mean, not a Twitter, but a Twitch account. So I'm trying a couple different avenues out, and yeah, I'm gonna roll with whatever. So, thank you, EJ. But that's what I'm doing. And to me, Rumble is similar. It's similar to YouTube as far as the studio, and I could bring people up just like I do over there on YouTube. So we'll see how it goes. But keep your notifications on. I'm pretty sure it's Monday tomorrow. A lot of things will be going on. If I could put a video together and I'm able to do the vertical, horizontal, and stream through Rumble, that's what I'll do tomorrow. I'll put y'all know how I do it. Yeah. You said this was a good test. Look at how far you've come from your first YouTube. Yeah, that was disastrous. But I was just like, I had to keep going. That was crazy. Listen, I wouldn't even go live without Peanut and Dove. One of them had to be up there with me. I hate talking. But now I'm starting to get used to it. So it's just like I'm just having a conversation with a friend. So you said, Yolanda, you're gonna need good regardless. Oh, thank you. You are a wonderful person and a hard worker. Oh, thank you, Melanated. How was your birthday? Listen, girl, I was telling 10. I said, Melanated, and I'm gonna just get off the subject because this is a test run. So we're gonna talk a little bit about everything. When that person said you was broke, I said that ever since I've been on this app, you have always touched grass. You have always traveled. I don't think a broke person could do the things that you're doing. I knew what you meant. I was like, broke, you go places more than anybody. Every time I see you, you're coming back from somewhere or you going somewhere. Broke people can't do that. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? And then EJ, I said, ugh. But you know what, y'all? I'm so happy that I'm away from all of that, because that right there is exhausting. That right there is draining. That right there that they doing, it takes a lot of energy. And if people would focus that type of energy in something that they want to do, or invest that type of time in their craft and stick to it the benefits is crazy. You do be outside. I'm like, that girl ain't broke. Shit. She always going somewhere. But if people would take the time out and see, I think a lot of people want that success overnight. And it don't work that way. And the things that people are doing to get a click and a view, for the little bit of time that I was monetized, don't believe the hype. And I'm going to say that. Don't believe the hype. People, when me and Dove got monetized and we start going crazy and doing stuff and doing videos and doing this, and when we seen that the return was not, you know what I mean, worth it, I'm like, these people gotta be, they're lying. They're exaggerating about what they make on here. They gotta be. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm humble. So anything that I get is a plus, but yeah, So I'm just surprised what people will do for a click and a view. It's not worth it. My peace of mind mean everything to me. That part. And if she was broke, so what? Yeah. My peace of mind means everything to me. I don't have time to be sitting back worried about how I'm going to get this person back and what I'm going to say tomorrow and what's going to happen. I ain't got time for that. I don't. Been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's growth. I done learned how to move on here. I done learned the shit, a little bit of everything. And soon me and Dove will be doing classes. Like I said, I make the mistakes. And I don't have no problems with sharing. I'm not that type of person. I will share anything with anybody. I'm going to give you whatever it is I feel like can help you or that you need so that you don't fall in the same mistakes or traps that I did. And everybody's not like that on here. It's a lot of people that's for self. It's a lot of people that's insecure. It's a lot of people that got some shit going on in their heads and in their minds. So, and once I seen that, I'm like, yeah, these people is from all over the place. You don't know where they been at, what they been through. And yeah, I'm cool with me and Dove. That's it. And when we get on the phone, it ain't about no gossip. It ain't about none of that. We thinking of our next move. Okay, yeah, YouTube did this to us, so we got to pivot and we got to do something else. You know, we chasing a bag. We not chasing no beef. You know? Now, the little BS that we had going on, that's just exactly what it was, BS. Those people, you know, I do it here and there. I have fun doing it, roasting people and doing stuff like that. But yeah, that every day, I can't do it. It's too much. It's too much. It'll age you. It will age you and have you out here looking crazy. Crazy. You said, yeah, there were red flags that I chose to ignore, and that an accountability issue for myself. I think, you know what I learned though? Because I've been back and forth with Sammy, and I would never go back and forth with her again. She's just the type of person that you can't tell her nothing. You gotta let her bump her head. Oh, she live? Then she must have got the cash apps. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. I love y'all. I will see you guys tomorrow. Replay gang, smash the like, and I'll see you guys over there. All right, y'all. We gotta get up out of here. We gotta get up out of here. I don't want y'all to miss it. I'm gonna play my little exit song, and we could go hang out over there. Hold on. I just gotta learn how to do all of these things over here. Here we go. All right, y'all. We can get up out of here. What? All right, we out.
It's Yolanda degrees. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite no. It's Yolanda degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl. It's Yolanda degrees. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping 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 this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda degree, shining bright, set the stage. Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea.